But before we get started, I'd like you to, first thing, just make sure that I can hear you. So just let me know that we're coming through loud and clear, just in the Q&A box. The more interactive you get, the better result that you will get out of what we're talking about today, or the better result you will get in your life overall, in general. Okay, so that's good to hear. Got a lot of people here who can hear, so we must be coming through loud and clear. So here's how it's going to work. Let me ask you a question. Would you like me to share something with you that I shared with the Diamond Club, and they reckoned it was the most important learning experience that they got over the period of the week we were together? Okay. Would you like me to share with you what I shared with my mentor's $10,000 a month coaching group on the Saturday just gone? Would you like me to share that with you? Okay, cool. So I'm getting a hell yeah, yes to both. Okay, so is there anyone that doesn't want me to share what I just shared with, a group of absolute superstar rock stars who my mentor's top coaching group, who I had the opportunity to present to on the weekend at their mastermind day on Saturday, and also sharing with the Diamond Club, right? Cool. Okay, so I'll share that. Then what's going to happen is Sue's going to share something that actually was triggered by a post that Matt shared today from one of the richest women in the world, and I think she is close to being the richest person in Australia, Gina Reinhardt, and that triggered something that Sue's going to share. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into your questions, your actions that you've accomplished over the last week or so, and what you're looking to achieve in the coming days. So here's how you are going to structure it. I want you to write down what it is that you've attempted or been working on, your critical focus areas for the last couple of weeks, what they were, what results you got, and what actions you're looking to take in the next 7 to 14 days. Okay, so that's the format, and any questions you want to ask or obstacles that have come up for you. So that's how we're going to do it, right? And those of you that want to share, like I said in the Q&A box, please share that you are going to speak, and then we will unmute you. You will go through the format that I've just shared with you there. We will help as best we can. Then we will give you some action steps to take in the coming period of time. And then what will happen, once I've gone through all those that want to speak, who want to share, who want some help, who want to get to the next level, then I will close it out with 2 questions that absolutely I seen as being critical, that I picked up during my mentor's mastermind group on Saturday. These are things that I will be applying to my life. So if I'm applying them, I probably would think that you might want to consider applying them for yourself as well. So what do you think about that, Sue? You think that's, you think someone might learn something today, hopefully?
Well, I think that if they don't, then perhaps they're not listening. So, guys and girls, I hope you've got paper and pens and pencils and water, and I hope you're ready to take lots of notes, because I think that you're going to get, we've come back from this week like really super inspired and really ready to make a difference over the next 6 to 12 months, not just in our own lives, but in your lives too. So take lots of notes.
Here's the one thing that there's one thing that I learned from speaking to a group of people who, have basically been paying or have been investing with my mentor for a long time, and they're his elite coaching group. They pay him $10,000 a month for the privilege of being in this elite group. They are some of the most talented people that I've ever had the opportunity to spend time with. One of the things that I came away with from spending time with these kind of guys, and they're all in different fields of business, they're all very successful in their own right. Some of you may have heard of one or two of them during your travels, but it's I'm unable to actually name them due to privacy agreements that I had to sign so that these people's businesses would be kept private. But there was a couple of things that I could share with you, right? So here's the thing that the Diamond Club absolutely came away with when we closed our retreat for the week. The one thing that they absolutely were blown away by, that every single one of them, when they did the exercise, said it would absolutely change their life. So with that feedback, what I decided to do was I decided to see if I shared that same information with these people that my mentor has in his elite coaching group, whether it would make, whether they would get any kind of value out of it too, because my guys in the Diamond Club, they pay upwards of $50,000 a year for the privilege of being able to spend time with myself and some of my elite contacts. And like I said, my mentor, his top level coaching group pays upwards of $120,000 a year for that particular group. Okay? So, would you like to know what it was that I shared with these guys? Right? I'm about to reveal it to you. It will come as an absolute shock to you all what it is that I shared with these guys that they all said to a man and woman will change their life. Look on your screens right now. So, you should all see in front of you something that I've already shared with you all. Here's the difference, right? Here's the difference. These people that are paying $10,000 a month to my mentor, guess what they did? They did the exercise and they took action. Guess what the Diamond Club did? Exactly the same thing. Guess what the Peak Performance Academy guys did and girls? Nothing. Other than one person. Here's an exercise that will absolutely change your life, and yet to a man and woman, everyone on this call other than Neil Kerno did not do the exercise. Interesting, isn't it? How you can have the information and all the tools, and it means diddly squat to you if you don't take action. That's the difference between Diamond Club and you guys and girls. That's the difference between an elite coaching group that it has the ability to be able to invest $10,000 a month into their own education because they take immediate action. You didn't fill it out, Mr. Tungsith, because it's automatically submitted. And the only one that was submitted was from Neil Kerno. Interesting. So, My question to you is this. What level of game are you playing? Because I've just spent the last week with people who are playing the game at the highest level. So, as Moz Toombs just piped up, and I'm not going to disagree, Muppet level, right? That's what he shared. So these are questions. These are hard questions you need to ask yourself, because here we're end of this month, in 7 days' time, it's the end of the first quarter of 2014. And you're exactly where you have decided to be, based on the actions you have taken or not taken. I clearly said, and you can actually go back and listen to the recording, I clearly said that this exercise will change your life. And yet, one person does the exercise. Pareto principle, once again, any group of people, you can put together 10%, 5% actually rise to the top. So my challenge to you is this, right? We do this because we want you to succeed. We cannot make you succeed. That's entirely up to you, because it's about you taking 100% responsibility for your own life. So here's my suggestion to you. I'm about to give you the opportunity. You had the opportunity before. You had the opportunity before the Diamond Club to do that exercise. That's the only time that I've ever given anyone outside the Diamond Club the opportunity to do something like this prior to them getting access to it, because I knew the difference it would make for you all. So you all see the link in there now. Once again, entirely up to you. I'm not going to mention it again, because those who are serious will do it. Those that aren't won't. Sue, would you like to talk about your particular life-changing information?
I really would, actually.
Okay. Would you like me to put up the? Would you like me to put up the
yes,
image? Okay.
Yes, please.
Here we go.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's plenty of you on the call that have seen Matt's post on Facebook earlier today regarding Gina Reinhardt and her comments about people on welfare, and you may or may not have seen my little rant underneath that. But this is something that I'm really, really passionate about, and I feel fairly qualified to talk about it, having been on welfare myself a few years back and completely, managing to change my life. And it comes down to what you can see on the screen there, and that's mindset. Okay, and I know I bang on about this all the time, but until you actually get this in your head, it's, like you can do all the personal development that you like, but until your beliefs actually change, you can do as much stuff as you like, but until your thoughts change, nothing will change. Okay, so specifically today I'm going to focus on money mindset, because let's face it, that's why you're here. You want to make more money. Everybody I know wants to make more money. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to put your answer, just the first thing that comes into your head when I ask the question. I want you to put that into the chat box, and then Dwayne can, read those out. So when you read an article like that about someone like Gina Reinhardt, who's got more money than most of us know, can even comprehend, how do you feel about her? How do you feel about really, really rich people? What are your thoughts and your feelings about rich people? Okay, now go ahead and type into the chat box the first thing that comes into your head about rich people.
Don't filter
because
it.
I'd be really interested to see, no filters, just, because there's no right or wrong answer, okay? But this might give you a little bit of an insight into where you're at and why you're where you're at.
Sean Goodson, think about it again. I want you to be very honest with the first thing that comes into your mind, right? Just the absolute honesty. I don't care whether it's, I hate them or whatever it is. Just be honest with yourself, because this is something that is could possibly hold you back, right?
Yeah. Let me share with you what I used to think about. I used to maybe go to the shops and I'd see a very obviously wealthy woman walking, and you can kind of tell that they've got money to spend, just by the way they're put together, right? And my instant thought when I saw a woman like that was, she must have a rich husband. Which is, and you know what, I didn't even realize that I was doing that, and it wasn't until a girlfriend pointed that out to me that I was then able to start, making some changes with that.
I'll give you an example of what I've always thought, and it always says, when I seen someone driving, when we were at the Four Seasons Hotel in Sydney, and you've got all these, you got these doormen taking all your bags, and these just magnificent chandeliers, and Sue's spending $300, $400 for a spa treatment and all that kind of stuff, right? And there's this beautiful Ferrari out the front, right? And there just happened to be, at the same time we were in the Four Seasons Hotel, a conference, a Tupperware conference, right, going on with all these, amazing number of men actually selling Tupperware.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
But yeah, usually you associate that with women. See, there's a thought. But the first thing that always comes into my mind is, what do they do? Or how can I learn from them and what they've done? That's always been the way I've looked at things. Always. Since I was a young kid. And that was because of the environment that I was brought up in too. But here's some answers that we've had, Sue, just so that you know. Kiami was enthused. Well done but envious from Moz. Good for them was Daryl. Sundari initially felt disdain. Right?
Yeah. Now that's interesting, and this is good stuff, okay? Yeah. This is what we want to hear.
I want you to, that's what I mean. I want you to be honest, right? Because this isn't an honest answer in my opinion. It could very well be, right? Pay them no mind. I'm focused on myself, right? Envious, inspired, different. They think differently was from David Farrell. Well done from Nathan. Luciano, they provide opportunities. I expect to get opportunities from them to climb the ladder and be then able to give opportunities. That's an interesting mindset, because there's a entitlement mindset there, as well as the opportunity to be able to provide for others on the other side of it when he gets to the top, right? So there's a job mindset and there's a entrepreneur mindset, all tied into that one answer there. Good for them. They are successful. I'm not jealous of rich people. Daryl Osden, 2 years ago, they suck. Now, good for them. I want that from Donna. Feeling those people are lucky, feel jealous about them. I wonder what they do. What the heck do they do? Hard work. Wouldn't it be nice? They have everything. I see a problem here, says Luciano now after I've just given that answer. Right? I should give opportunities first. It's not about what you should or shouldn't. It's about recognizing your mindset.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing where you are in the mindset of things, because until that mindset changes, nothing changes, right? So, Sue, back to you.
Absolutely. Okay, so there's some really interesting answers there. So here's my question to you, right? if you think rich people are great and your automatic reaction, and I'm talking sometimes it's not even a known thing, you know, like it's not a conscious reaction. Right? But a lot of us have been brought up by parents, and, you know, it's great we can blame our parents for everything. But a lot of us, you know, we have these beliefs that have been instilled in us since we were very, very young, and a lot of us have the beliefs that rich people are greedy, rich people are bad, they must have done something illegal to have that much money, etc., etc. So the thing is, and I did touch on this in my post in Facebook, that if these are your thoughts about wealthy people, right, then you're not in the mindset to ever become wealthy. Because subconsciously, if you think that rich people are bad in some way, in any way, your mind, your subconscious mind, which is very, very powerful and does all it can to protect you, right? It's not going to let you do anything that's going to make you think you're bad, right? So you're going to sabotage yourself constantly until you can get rid of those beliefs that, and if you have them, and it may not be this, it might be something completely different, right? But if you have a belief that rich people are bad, your mind is never going to let you be that bad person. Therefore, you will never be rich. Okay, and it sounds really simplistic, but it's also very obvious once you realize it. Okay, rich people aren't bad. Rich people are awesome because they have a really great attitude about money. Usually, they're not usually greedy. And if you look at a lot of these super duper, I mean, look at Bill Gates. How much philanthropic stuff does he do? How much money do he and Melinda give away? You know,
Warren Buffett.
They're using their powers for good, basically.
Yes.
So you need to find examples. If, for instance, you think rich people are bad, you need to find examples of rich people that are good. For me, I needed to find examples of women who were wealthy independently, who had made their money by themselves, and I surround myself with those women now. I'm in a mastermind group with women that they're all entrepreneurs, they're all independent, they might be married, they might not, but they're running their own businesses and they're making plenty of money and they're doing it independently of their husbands or alongside them. They're not sitting at home being the Real Housewives or whatever. So, you know, and for me that was a big step for me towards becoming more financially independent myself. Another example is, you know, how do you feel when you hear of someone winning, you know, $30 million in the lottery? Do you feel jealous? Does it remind you that you're broke? Does it depress you? Do you feel happy for them? Do you feel sorry for them? These feelings will give you an indication of where your money mindset is, right? Probably the best answer is to feel happy for them because, you know, there's plenty to go around. Don't ever think there's not enough. There's loads and loads of money to go around, and you need to start getting into that more abundant mindset and start seeing the abundance around you rather than focusing on how little you've got, because that will keep you in that place. Right? It's all about how you feel and how you think, because what you focus on expands, you know. The other thing, you know, here's just a few questions that you can ask yourself. What is your relationship with money? You know, is it because it's an energy? Like, that's what money is. It's an energy. It's not. It's an idea. It's not an actual thing. You know, it's an idea and it's an energy. So what's your relationship with it? Do you take care of the money that you have? Do you know how much you have? Do you pay your bills with resentment? Or are you thankful that you've got the money to pay your bills? Do you track the money that comes in and are you grateful for it? Do you track things of value that you receive, like you go out to meet a friend for lunch and they pay for your lunch? You know, that's something of value that you've received, and you should be tracking that and be grateful for it. And not just sometimes. You can't just do this stuff when you remember. This is something that needs to become a habit, right? And I'm telling you, it will change the way you look at money, and it will change the amount of money that you've got coming in. This is what I'm sharing with you now. This is everything that I have done to increase my income. It wasn't about working harder. It wasn't about doing new things. It was about changing my attitude and changing my mindset around money. And I'm sorry for the
In fact, just to share, Sue probably actually works less now than she ever has.
Yeah. Absolutely.
and that's not said with the and that's not said with the sarcasm that usually accompanies it. But she does usually works far less than she has in the past for significantly more income coming in than she has in the past.
Yep.
So might be something in this.
I've been talking to Dwayne recently about how I'm now coming to work on the mindset that it's okay for me to not want to work hard. Okay? I don't want to work hard. I've got things I want to do. Things like going and spending 3 hours at a day spa.
Yes.
And being okay with that. You know, so here's another question. Are you able to happily spend money on yourself, or are you madly saving it, or in a I can't afford it mentality? Okay, for me, you know, it's things like going to a day spa. I get my nails done every 2 or 3 weeks. These are little upgrades that make me feel good. I feel abundant, and I make sure that I take the time to go and do this stuff for myself, because I don't know what men do. You know, I can't imagine you're going to want to go to it. Well, some guys do like going to a day spa. But there's going to be something, you know, might be going and having, you know, playing golf once a week, or going to the football, or I don't know what you guys do that makes you feel abundant. But you've got to be able to do this stuff for yourself without feeling guilty for it. And, you know, to feel, because it will make you feel good. And it makes you feel good about yourself, and it makes you feel good about your life, that you can take this time and this money to do these things because it makes you feel good. Okay, it's a really great circle to be in. So don't be hoarding your money and saving. I mean, save, surely, you know, definitely you save your money, but you know, don't be saving it just in case something important comes up, because you are important. You know, and it's okay to spend money on yourself. And my last point that I want to make is, you know, do you have things in your life that make you feel poor? Right? You look at them and you just go, ugh, I hate that, and it just makes you feel icky. It's better to sometimes temporarily go without than to make do. But the biggest impediment to more money is surrounding yourself with things that make you feel poor. My money coach, who has a delightful turn of phrase, the way she says it is, don't try and roll the turd in glitter because it never works. And it's true. You know, the way you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the way you feel about it is key. Right? You have to come to a point where you can feel good about the money you have, the money that's coming in, the things that you're surrounded by, the people you're surrounded by. All of these things make for an abundant life, and you should be grateful for them. So, you know, you just notice those feelings that come up when you see wealthy people, or you hear someone saying, hey, I just went to the day spa and spent $400 on myself. You know, if that makes you feel yucky, you need to work on that. So that's really what I wanted to talk about, and to really get it into your heads is that your money mindset is going to be the thing that allows you to be rich or stops you from being rich. Okay, and I know you all want to be rich. And it's okay. I want to be rich. I want to be richer. And I want to work less. And it's okay. It's okay for me to want those things. And it's okay for you to want those things. But you need to believe that.
Right. The question that I have, which just came up from that, is like, just in the Q&A box, I want you to just go back and think about when I mentioned that I was speaking to a elite group of individuals that were investing $10,000 a month in themselves. What comes up for you about that? What are the things? What are the things that came up for you? And I want you to be brutally honest with yourself, right? I want the first thing that comes into your mind about someone that spends $10,000 per month to be in a coaching mastermind group, right? Okay, so
this will be interesting.
This will be interesting, right? So it will be very interesting. That's what I thought. I'll ask this question to see whether there's any, what kind of side of the fence we get a lot of, right? So once again, I want you to be really honest with yourselves about the first thing that comes into your mind, right? I don't want you to just, I wish I thought this, so I'll put that. It's like what you actually really think. There's no judging here, because the only way you're ever going to progress is by being brutally honest with yourself about where you are right now, okay?
Absolutely, and not being honest is only going to hold you back, because if you can't be honest with yourself, you're not going to learn the things that are holding you back.
Okay, so here's a couple of answers. I've got, I want access to that. Wow. Okay, that was a well thought out answer. Wow. I won't swear, but I'll leave the F word at the beginning. Awesome. That's the kind of dudes I want to hang out with. I need to get up off my ass and do whatever it takes to get in that circle, right? So that's a cool answer, right? That's a cool answer. I wish I could do that. I wish I could feel that I deserve to do that. That's an excellent answer. And that's very honest. Yeah. Okay, and that's the kind of thing I'm looking for, right? Being brutally honest with yourself. I want to be at that level. It pays to get even more. I want to be there and I'm willing to do the work to get there, plus a tad jealous. They have enough money to invest. First thing in my mind when I can do the same, okay? What do I want to do? What do I need to do to get there? How did they make that decision? Why? Who has guided their decision? They believe in the value, I think. They can afford it. They believe they cannot, they believe, here's a good one. They believe they cannot afford not to have it. I need to get there. To spend $10,000, I would want to have a good return. Okay, that's an interesting answer, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on the other side of the fence hearing that, but deep inside I know I can be at that level one day. It all comes down to my goal and how bad I want it, right? So there's some interesting answers. Majority are on the side of they want to be in something like that, right? They want to. There's not a lot of resentment, so to speak. Most people are saying, oh yeah, that'd be awesome to be in a group of people like that. And that's one of the advantages of being able to network with people at that level, right? It's you know, people who invest that kind of money in themselves, they only need one idea, right? One idea. And they have the ability, because of the level that they are at, the mental resources they have now developed, right? And emphasize on that now developed. They were never at that level originally, right? They started just like we did, right? They start and then they move, right? But here's what they do. They get the seed of an idea and then they take action immediately, right? These guys, that exercise that I did with you, that only one actually completed, guess what? Those guys, they did that exercise while we were going through it, and by the end of the day had taken action on their answers, right? They had taken action on their answers to eliminate the things that were holding them back from getting to the next level within their business. That's the difference, right? So they're now much more productive because of what they learnt and applied doing that exercise. That's the difference between those people who have the ability to be able to invest $10,000 in a month. They take action immediately on something that they get, right? You've had already quite a lot of really good ideas that have come through here. You know, not the least is take action on things, right, that come into your sphere. But the difference will be whether you actually take action on them, right? Are you at that level yet? Every single one of you has the ability at a stage in your life to be in a mastermind group like that. Everyone does, right? There's no reason why you can't, right? The only thing holding you back is YOU. Because the person that got you to where you are today is not the person that will get you where you need to be. It's all about developing yourself to the next level continually. And that's why I surround myself with these people all the time, right? If I can pick up one little thing, one little idea that I can apply, typically it makes me immediate income plus residual income. That's income that keeps coming in month after month. One idea, right? That's what I'm always looking for. That's what I'm always looking for. And I've got a really good question to ask yourself at the end of this session that I will share with you. So you need to remind me about that question, right? You need to remind me about the question to share with you when we get to the end. Cool? Okay. So we're now going to move into having a chat with each of you. So now is the time in the Q&A box. I want you to put in that you wish to participate. Those of you that don't wish to participate, do nothing. Those of you that wish to participate and want us to go and help you, okay, so first was Moz, and then Kayami will be next. So just in the Q&A box, say, yes, I want to participate. I'll then open you up, and we will start on the structure that I discussed right at the beginning. So Moz, your first cab off the rank. Moz, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Well, excellent, always.
Hey, Mo.
How are you doing, Sue?
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, Moz, last 2 weeks or last period of time, what is it that you've been working on? What have you accomplished? What's been holding you back?
Well, I've accomplished absolutely zilch. Nothing. Just just lost track actually, Dwayne. I mean, I think what we've been doing is, both my wife and I, we've just been running ourselves ragged in the pub, and that's all we've been thinking about. Not been training, not been concentrating on this, my future. Ill all the time. We're both ill all the time, and it's just because we're not delegating and giving ourselves time to concentrate on what we need to do.
So there's actually a mindset behind that. You know that, right? What do you think?
No doubt about it. Yeah.
What do you think the mindset is? Right? I've had that mindset. Trust me, I've had that mindset.
I don't know. It's like,
what do you think it is?
I spoke to Sue the other day. I think I tend to put obstacles in front of myself that without knowing it.
So, do you think? Just ask yourself this honestly. Do you have a mindset where you don't think other people can do things better than you? Maybe. So you'd rather you do it yourself because you're just going to have to fix their mistakes anyway?
My wife feels like that. All I can see is getting the money in now. So that's why we're working so hard. But it's actually not working. We're just running ourselves stupidly round in circles.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. So what do you think the answer is for you? Right? Because obviously you need to be able to run the pub, right? So is the pub at a stage where you could possibly employ people to do certain things?
Yeah, it is. Now we can. Today is the first day actually. Like we've delegated now. We've written out a completely new rota. Give ourselves permission to have time off, if you like.
Yep.
We like this afternoon we're off from 2:30, and we've took the whole of tomorrow off, which is like, you know, I'm doing backflips here. You can't see that, but I've got a day off.
I was going to do this exercise next time, but based on what you've shared with me, I think this exercise would be really beneficial to everybody, right?
Okay.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a bit of paper.
Yep, okay, got it.
Okay, so everyone participate. I want you to just grab yourself a bit of paper, and in the next 5 minutes, here's what I want you to do. I want you to personally write down everything you do each day that you can think of, right? You leave nothing out. I want you to just write everything you possibly can think of that you do either in your business, Moz. So, you know, you write down what you're doing in your business every single day, just to the littlest thing. You know, if you go to the bank, if you you do the banking, do the cashing up, whatever it is, going and emptying pallets of beer, whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. Just write down everything you can think of that you do each day. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to get in 5 minutes. I just want you to just write as much as you can down of whatever it is that you do every single day. Okay? Then what we're going to do after that, and you'll probably redo this exercise when we're finished, right? Just redo it once you can, you've got more time to think about everything that you do, okay? So give yourself, we'll do it for 5 minutes. Everything that you can possibly think of, I want you to write it down, okay? Then we're going to split it into 3 categories. The first category we're going to split it into is each activity that you've written down that you would consider to be high impact. Okay, so that's something that you either do extremely well that no one else can do, or it has a very big influence on either your day or your ability to be able to generate income, or your well-being, or the relationship, or whatever it happens to be. Okay, so that's what I classify as high impact, something that no one else can do, or it has a extremely high value to you or your business, your life. So that's high impact. So you're going to put some kind of designation next to each thing that you've written down for high impact. So in my case, I would put, say, HI or H for high impact, right? Okay. Then you are going to find all the things that you classify as, just, yeah, you know, take it or leave it, right? It's not something that's vital, but it's not something that's, you know, it's just, I could take it or leave it. I could either do it or I don't have to do it, kind of thing. Okay, so that's just like middle of the road. Something that someone else could do or whatever. So it's just something that you're not absolutely passionate about or doesn't have a massive influence. You're just going to put with a, you know, meh. It's just like, it doesn't fire you up in any way, right? Is there anyone else that can't hear? Right, so Sundry can't hear me.
No, it's loud and clear this end.
Loud and clear here? Okay,
Yep.
Everyone else can hear? Okay. Okay. I hear you. Okay, so it might be your end, Sundry, right? So those tasks or things that you do which are just like middle of the road, okay? Then you're going to have one third and final category. That category is the, oh my God, save me category. Right? This is something that you do each day, but you absolutely hate it, despise it. If there was any possible way that you didn't have to do it, you wouldn't do it. Okay? So, you're going to have everything that you do on a daily basis, you're going to write it out in one big long list, right? Then you're going to split it into 3 categories. One is the high impact category. So these are things that you must absolutely, that only you can do or are high impact in whatever area of your life you're looking at. Then you're going to have the take it or leave it category. Don't really matter. You know, you don't mind doing it, but you don't hate doing it. And then you're going to have the last category is the, oh my God, I hate this, save me category. Right? So you're going to split it, everything that you do on a daily basis, into those 3 categories.
Okay.
Cool. Once you've got the 3 categories, what I want you to do is I want you to, based on what the groups look like, give them a percentage out of 100% being all 3 categories. Give each category a percentage of the total. So
What, in the time it takes, you mean, in your day?
No, so of the 3 categories you've got, right? So you're going to have a list of things, right? A full list of things, and that's going to equal 100% of everything, okay?
I see.
Okay? Then you're going to split them into 3 groups. High impact, not so, and then save me. Then you're going to look at the 3 groups, and you're going to guesstimate what percentage of your time each day is spent doing high impact activities, and that's based on what you see in that group. Then what's spent doing, you know, take it or leave it, and then what's spent doing save me tasks or things. Okay? So once you've got your 3 categories and once you've designated a percentage to them, I want you to then, in the Q&A box, other than Moz, in the Q&A box, I want you to tell me what percentage of your time you spend in high impact activities, what percentage of your day you spend doing, you know, take it or leave it, and what percentage of your day is spent doing, oh my God, save me. Oh my God, save me tasks. Okay, so once you've done all of that, I want you to then in the Q&A box, let me know. Percentage-wise, high impact, middle of the road, or save me tasks. This is going to be very eye-opening for you. Okay, Moz, have you anywhere close to a initial finding?
Nearly there.
Okay, it's all right. Okay, Sue, you're back now, are you?
Yes, I'm sorry. I missed most of that with technical issues. I have no idea what happened.
Okay, we're doing the 4% exercise.
Shut down and restart. Okay, cool.
We're doing the high end or the 4% exercise is what we're doing.
Yeah. So, yep.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, we want more high impact activities than yeah.
Okay, so we've got our first results coming in. So we've got Daryl Osden's based on his list, and like I said, this is only your initial findings. Once we get off the call, one of your tasks I would suggest you do, along with the other one that you've already heard about, is I would suggest you do take some time and really go over this exercise and do it as fully as you possibly can. There may be things that you do one day but don't do the other another day or whatever, but just make everything into one list, okay? So Daryl's initial attempt, he reckons that he does, 50% of his time is spent doing high impact activities, 30% is in that take it or leave it, and 20% is in the save me category, okay, which is interesting. I'll give you my statistics based on mine shortly. Then we got Kyami. High impact, he spends only 5% of his time in high impact activities. Take it or leave it, he spends 15% of his time, and that leaves 80% of his time spent doing things that he hates to do. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, Peter Nachu, he spends 20% of his time doing high impact, 60% of his time in the middle, and 20% of his time doing save me activities. And Sundari has spent, she's got 3 different entries, so I've got to find the other 3, right? So she spends 25% of her time high impact, 15% of her time in the middle, and 60% of her time doing save me activities. Luciano, 70% of his time high impact, nothing in the middle, and then 30% of his time in save me. Donna, 60% high impact, nothing in the middle, 40%, no, sorry, this is not Donna. This is David Farrell. 60% high impact, 40% low impact, nothing in the middle. Donna, 75% high impact, 10% so-so, 15% save me. Nathan, 20% high impact, 20% take it or leave it, 60% in the hate it. Rick Sharma, okay, 10% high impact, 10 in the middle, and then, oh my God, save me, 80%. John Tungsith, 80% high impact, 15% take it or leave it, and 5% in the oh my God. So my question to you, John, is this: where do you put your job? Is it in high impact, take it or leave it, or oh my God? Okay, so you need to rejig, right? So, John,
my question to everyone at this point would be based on, because there are some people who are, they're high impact activities, they're spending apparently a fair whack of time on those. Are your results reflecting that? They should be.
Yeah, anyone who's
so those of you spending sort of 60% or more.
So here's my question to you: those of you who have got are in the 50% or more, or even I'd say 40% or more high impact activities, would you classify yourself as being financially independent? As in, if you stopped working right now, how long would you last without the people coming to repossess your house or whatever it happens to be. So ask yourself that question. If you stop working today, how long would it be before the debt collectors come, they repossess your house, they throw you on the street? Right? This is about being honest, right? This is not about being looking good amongst your peers. It's about being honest about where you're at, right? The reality is that, as you can see, and I think we've got a good... Where are you, Moz? Have you got yours? What do you reckon with yours?
I reckon 70%, oh my God.
Yep.
15% take it or leave it, and about 15% high impact.
Okay.
That's not actually every day. The weekends are slightly different.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's just what I would suggest you do is just a huge list, right? So everything you can possibly think of, regardless of what day it is, you just want to put it on the list, and then break it down into high impact, so, and then oh my God, save me, right? So most of I love it how they answer this question, right? I'm learning fast, not financially independent yet, right? The mindset is there, but this is a brutally honest question about, are you financially independent, yes or no? This is a yes or no answer, not a spread it out, right? Okay, so the question then becomes, I want you to have a look at your high impact activities, because they're obviously not high impact, okay?
Dwayne, you're just going to have to give me 30 seconds, sorry.
You're right. Okay, so I'll just mute you, and then let me know when you come back, okay? Just in the Q&A. Okay, so what I want you to do now is with the save me, oh my God, I save me, right? These are things that you do not like to do. And majority of you, probably 80% of you, are spending most of your time in it. Okay? Which tells me, which indicates to me the reason why you are not where you want to be. Because you're spending most of your time doing things that you either do not like, are not good at, or should be being done by somebody else who is good at them. Okay? So this is about getting clear on that and focusing in on, like we talk about, the narrowing your focus down to doing, if at all possible, only high impact activity. Everything else should be getting eliminated somehow. Either if someone else can do it, then that's where it should be going. Anything in that, oh my God, save me, you should be looking at some way of getting it off your plate somehow. Okay? And it might, because your time should be always spent doing things that are valuable to you, that will increase your income, your relationship, or your health, basically. That's high impact. And that's where you should be spending all your time. Everything else should be outsourced, one way or another. Okay? It's the 4%. That's why it's called the 4% exercise. It's the 4% of things that you absolutely must do, that have the absolute highest impact for you, that you should be focusing all your time on. Everything else should be getting outsourced, delegated somehow. Okay, Moz is back now. Right, Moz. So, Moz, you're back.
Yep.
Okay, so that list that you've got 70% of things on there. Did you hear what I said? 70% of things that are in the save me, oh my God, that you really need to look at how you can get them off your plate.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear excuses.
No.
I want to hear, okay, or I can't afford it or whatever. What I want you to ask yourself is a better question, is how could I get these things to be done by somebody else in some way, while I focus on my relationship and increasing my cash flow from other areas. Okay, so that's the questions you want to ask yourself. That's what you should always be asking yourself somehow. Okay, so yeah, for someone like Sundari is the CEO of her own operation, this exercise is fantastic in being able to delegate things off to other people, your staff or whoever it happens to be. Okay, so but for your own life, it comes down to, and this, I've done this exercise, right? Because this exercise I did with my mentor, okay? And my result, just so that you know, I'll go and tell you what my result was of the things I did every day. And where I'll just bring it up. It was about my time, and I'm reasonably productive, was spending about 40% of my time, probably in high impact activity. And there was even part of the high impact activity that I could outsource, okay, which is, just getting a little bit more creative. But I was spending an awful lot of time in things that I absolutely hated to do. And so that has had me sit down with people within our organization and look at ways for me to be able to outsource those things so I can take them off my plate. Okay? So that I can focus my time on things, one, that bring in the most amount of money for me, my business and my investments. Okay? Focus time on the things that I absolutely love to do also. Okay, which means you get excited about getting up in the morning, right? Because you're going to spend time with people that you love, working on the things that are absolutely high impact to your life, right? And it comes down to the fact that when you like you all may well know, is that I had some surgery and will in another 2 weeks. It brings mortality very much into the picture. And so this exercise for yourself is vitally important so that you understand that, you're never going to live forever. So you need to spend your time doing the things that you absolutely love to do. And Moz, especially for yourself, always being sick, it means that you're not doing things that you should be doing. Okay?
Yeah, because I've just never been a sickly person. I just think it's, and you're right, it is purely mental, all this. And when you write it down on paper like this,
oh, it's very
It
confronting.
puts it into perspective, doesn't it? Eh?
It certainly does, right? So
it shows you what a lot of wasted time you got.
You spend an awful lot of time on things that other people could be doing. Okay, so as an example, business-wise for us, we're looking at outsourcing a lot of the things that are menial tasks that some of our people do that could be done by someone else, right? So that, for me, is things along the lines of some of the marketing that is done, some of the design work, all that kind of stuff, research that can be done by someone else and then collated and organized by someone else so that I takes it off my plate or takes it off other key people's plate. Plus what it does is it also duplicates people who have the ability to be able to learn certain things. Okay, so that you always covering, if someone's sick or whatever, you've got someone else who can do that without you having to do it. Okay, so as an example, my mentor is now down to working a grand total of 20 hours a week and manages to surf twice a day. Right? And bring in 7 figures.
Wow.
Okay, so if he can do it and have done it from scratch within the last 6 years, gone from 0, as in nothing, to 7 figures, working 20 hours a week, surfing twice a day, and having a 50-person staff that literally he talks to for 15 minutes once a week. 7 figures.
Nice.
So, and that all comes about based on this exercise that you've just done, right? So you now have exercise that someone has literally handed to me, and I've handed it to you, that has created a 7-figure business in less than 6 years. And it's can do the same for you if you apply what you've learned.
I'm going to do this with my wife afterwards.
Oh,
and see
absolutely.
what she comes with.
Do it individually first. You know, like get her to do everything that she done, and you do everything that you do, and then as a group, as a couple, do the same thing, and then split it up. And then I want you to seriously take an axe to the save me area and get it all off your plate, and then work your way up into the, you know, so-so area. And only by focusing on the high impact. The sooner you can, and the faster you can get all those things that are in the save me category off your plate, you will not believe how much more productive and better you start to feel. And then more money that will start to come in because you now have time to be able to do the things that are going to be impactful to your future, not to your present right now. Okay? So hopefully that's
It's quite unbelievable what you spend your time doing when you look at it like that.
Do you want to share some of the save me? You know, some of you guys, if you want to, in the Q&A box, just share some of the save me stuff that you do that you're now going to get off your plate. Okay, based on what you've just done. Right. Those of you that are in business, this is going to be a massive thing for you. Right. Massive thing for you.
But the cleaning is the biggest one for me.
Well, there you go. Right. Do your cleaning. Right. I don't clean my own house. Haven't done for a long time, man. Right? Because it comes back to the thing. I only do tasks that I only spend my time doing things that at my pay rate that I allocate to myself. I'll only do things that are that or above. Anything below that, I try and outsource it if at all possible. Okay? So things like cleaning, and I'm not below cleaning or anything like that, but I can go and pay someone to clean my house, right? Pay them, what is it, $50 a week or something? And they'll come in and they'll clean it head to bottom, you know. Yeah, that's a great one. See, Nathan's got one for his business. Nathan, you're a plumber, I think, if I remember correctly. He's a plumber and employs 60 plumbers, is it? I think 60 or something, yeah. And so bookwork, invoicing, quoting. Absolutely. Those kind of things can be outsourced, right? It's just a matter of making sure that you put into place a template or some steps that can easily be given to the person doing the task and have them outsourced. Sundari, accounting, right? If you absolutely hate it, right? There's plenty of accountants out there, right? Snow, John, this is a classic. Snow and lawn removal care. Right now, the sun is doing the snow removal, right? See, there's people out there that's what they do. So why waste your time doing it when you could be doing something much more productive with your time that's going to enhance your future, right? So if you calculate out what your time is worth, and then any task that's below that, absolutely. Have a cheap cleaner, right? Yeah. Well, see, I have a cheap lots of stuff, right? And it's it's only because I got it from a friend of mine who runs a cafe, and they have a cleaner at their place, and so they now clean his place, they clean mine, they're going to clean Sue's place. So, you know, you get a discount because you know he's got jobs out of that, right? So, and mine's not massive like a mansion or anything like that, but I don't need all that, so it's cool. Okay, so that's one of your action steps. What are you on your save me now, which is you want to get rid of them all, but what are you going to outsource? Get someone else to do. And the faster you can get it done, the better off you'll be. Cool? So hopefully that helps you a little bit there, Moz, right? So what's your action step? It's the one thing you're going to do this week coming from what you've learned now.
I'm going to take an axe to the cleaning.
Good man. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to ask? Sue seems to have lost audio again, right? Is there anything?
It always sounds like Sue does a broadcast from a toilet.
I know, it's unreal, isn't it? And it's different computers, so I don't know what it is, but it seems to always be the same, right? It seems to always be the same. Is there anything else you want to ask? Well,
Not at the minute, Dwayne. I'm just going to concentrate on this thing now, I think, and then because I've got the, concentration of a goldfish, so
right.
At time.
But that saved me. List everybody, attack it as soon as possible. Ask yourself, how can I get these things off my plate and onto somebody else's? Right. Cool. Thanks, Miles. Appreciate that. Right. So next, who was next? Let's go back here. And we're going to, I was going to do that exercise another time, but based on what Mons came up with, I thought I'd share that with you now. Right, so let's see who was next. Right, let's see. Just got to scroll back through here. I think it's down further. Okay, so next is Kyami. So, Kyami.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Aloha. How are you?
Aloha to you too, sir. I'm doing very well.
That's what I like to hear. Fantastic. Okay, so
Right.
last couple of weeks, well, your brand spanking new, really. You know, you've been with us for a month and came from the Platinum Club straight into the Peak Performance Academy. So you've accelerated your learning experience. What is it that you've learned in the last 2 weeks? What obstacles have come up for you in the last 2 weeks that you would like some help with?
Well, I'm right in the middle of creating my 3 critical focus areas, and so what's happening for me right now is that I have a business that I'm working on. It's one of my focus areas, my health,
yep,
and trading.
Okay.
So those are the 3, but in mentor session with Donna the other day, I think I'm going to put my business and trading into one, health into one, and then relationships, because I'm hearing a little bit about that. And that is extremely important, and I can't believe I would leave that out because but anyway, so I'm working through learning, as we go along here. So, so in the last few weeks since I've been involved with PPA for my business. So for my business, I have a Amazon business where I sell products on Amazon.
Okay.
And
so all of those of you who are out there that are looking at Arbitrage Magician, or are looking at ASM, Amazon Selling Machine, then Kyami is the man to be speaking to. All right, you should all be getting into a mastermind group, and well, that's if you're willing to share with these guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, no problem. Yes, for sure. And I put that on the Facebook group, and a few people have contacted me, and so anytime you guys want to talk, please let me know.
So here's my question. Here's my question to you. Just before, do you know Ezra Firestone?
I don't know him personally, but I attended his brown box seminar. So that's as much as I know of him. You've
heard of him. Well,
yes.
I spent time with Ezra at the weekend. So yes, I spent time with Ezra at the weekend. Ezra Firestone, for all of those of you that are looking at selling physical products, he is the man when it comes to physical products. So he shared some cool stuff with us, actually. Ezra is, now you've just I've let the cat out of the bag. Ezra is one of the people that are in that mastermind group with my mentor. So you can see the quality of some of the people that might be being surrounded. But yeah, Ezra spent 4 days with Ezra actually, because he was with our Diamond Club as well. But if you're looking at physical products, Ezra Firestone, brown box, formula, guy knows what he's talking about, made a lot of money with physical products. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the combination of what everybody's getting here, because I think with a lot of programs out there like Ezra's and even ASM, which I'm a part of,
Okay.
Amazing selling machine costs $4,000, and it's chock full of a lot of to-dos, a lot of how to do this, how to do that. But what's missing is what we're getting with PPAs, the motivation to break through all the challenges, because they can give you a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do this and do all of that, but if you don't have the emotional mastery to keep doing it, to stay focused, to work your way through the overwhelm, that's why most people fail. And it can be a little frustrating, and I'm in a few mastermind groups within the Amazing Selling Machine, and I hear it all the time, you know, the people, we've gotten the blueprints, we've gotten everything to do, but people just are having a hard time doing it because of the mindset, you know, discipline, getting yourself to take action and not putting things off. So putting, you know, what we have here with PPA is just the missing piece. A lot of people in all these programs, they get, like Ezra will tell you what to do, how to put the website, what to say, where to put the buy now button, but you know, he's not going to be there to call you out on being a lazy butthead who's not doing what he's telling you.
Oh yeah, he will do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you know, you have to ignore him. You know, you have to pay attention but anyway, so it's been amazing because what you just talked about with the whole 4% thing, that's where I am. My whole goal right now with my Amazon business is I'm realizing that I'm doing a lot of stuff, the daily stuff, checking the email, responding to customer service, you know, thinking about marketing and putting up press releases and writing articles. I'm doing all of that, and I just thought to myself the other day, you know, Ezra Firestone doesn't write emails. He calls up somebody and says, hey, we need an email, write it. You know what I mean? There's no way he's doing it.
Funnily enough.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, there's no way he's doing it. And I'm over here wanting to be him, but I'm not doing what he does. So, you know, success leaves clues. You got to...
Did you hear? There was a key that actually gave me goosebumps. That thing that you said there, right? You're wanting to be such and such, whoever, right? But you're not doing the things that he does. Okay? That is the key, right? If you want to be a great trader, you need to do what the great traders do. If you want to be a success on Amazon, or you want to develop any kind of income stream or any kind of skill, you need to do what the best do. Okay? And it's do it before you're ready to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Right? You got to do it before you're ready. Nothing good happens in the comfort zone. Nothing. Nothing good happens, right? Because I can almost telepathically hear people looking at their "oh my God, save me" list and going, I can't afford to outsource all this. I can't afford it, right? And guess what that is? That's your mental block that'll keep you stuck where you are right now. And that's what stopped you getting where you need to be. It's because you're just not willing to take the leap, right? And build your wings on the way down, which is what you hear me talk about all the time. So, Kiami, that's something that you need to work on, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And for you guys there, what Ezra's black box system and the amazing Amazon selling machine, which I actually had access to prior to it being $4,000, right? All that stuff works. All of it. As long as, and it's just like the trade plans. The trade plans work too. As long as you're willing to work it. Until it's done. Not until tomorrow, or until the next day, or until I'll give it a try for a month. It's until hell freezes over and I get it done. Right? You know, we've got a number of you that have done, you know, round-the-clock sessions. David Farrell, Stephen Ottram, done 24 hours to get stuff done because that's what it takes, you know, to get stuff done. You guys could have outsourced some of it, but, you decided to do it all yourself, but... So...
I have I have a little story, Jane, just to tell everybody about outsourcing. I was actually talking to a friend of mine who is an amazing coach, life coach, right? This guy gets some amazing breakthroughs for his clients, and he's so good at what he does, right? So he says to me, I'm learning Google Analytics. I'm getting certified in Google Analytics, right? And I'm like, what the hell for? I said, you know, Bill, you should be outsourcing this stuff. You know, that's what you should be doing. And he's like, yes, I know, and I'm going to outsource it, but I need to know what I'm doing before I give it to someone else to do. And I'm like, no, someone else already knows this stuff. You know how to be an incredible life coach and change your clients' lives. That's where you're making the money. Google Analytics is not going to make this, or knowing how to do Google Analytics is not going to make Bill money.
So you've got to focus on the things that are high impact to you, right? That you're the very best at. And if you're not the best at these other things, then you need to find people who are the best at them to do them for you, right?
Definitely.
So, you know, on this call we have, you know, those of you that are building websites, you know, those of you that might be building websites or are looking to get graphics designed for products that you're whacking onto Amazon or whatever. You know, Jean Lillyhagen is a web designer, been a web designer for 20 years, right? You know, why wouldn't you get him to do it for you? You know, and he's given you all that. He's you know, written a good deal. I could probably actually get him to do a better deal. But, you know, these are things that you need to outsource. You know, how about if I knew maybe the 1, 2, 3 of the best people on the planet for Facebook advertising? You know, how about that? You know, what about if I knew the guy that actually does Rex Schifron's Facebook ads? What about if I knew the guy that does Jack Canfield's ads? So do you think Jack Canfield does his own Facebook marketing?
Probably not.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He really does not.
No, he doesn't.
Because that's not his area of expertise.
That's not high impact. It is a high impact activity, but he's not an expert in it. He's an expert in his area, and so he outsources those particular tasks to people that are the best at it. So this is where this 4% exercise comes in, right? So, and it's the same with the mastermind, right? So Kiami could have been doing it all by himself, which, you know, he would have got somewhere, and that's what he's doing at the moment. Like, he's writing his ads, and he's, you know, following 2 different systems, and I can almost guarantee that Ezra's system is different to the Amazing Selling Machine system too. So, you know, you've got to kind of build it in, right? It's just you've got to narrow your focus. But, you know, you now know that you need to outsource some stuff and work on the things that high impact to you, right? Absolutely high impact to you.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's my, you know, critical focus area for my Amazon business. And what you just said was the limiting belief. So when you ask about what's holding me back, it's really the belief that I can't afford an outsourcer, or that it's so hard to find good people, or
Okay.
it's going to be all that stuff.
Sue, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you find out for me what that guy's name is, that the outsourcer that we're going to use? What was his name?
Sure, give me two seconds. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, so Sue's now going to find one of our contacts in relation to outsourcing. Right? So we're going to share that with you, where some of my mentors' clients, aka Ezra Firestone and some of the other people, are outsourcing tasks for themselves, and they're paying an outsourcer for a 40-hour week, and they're paying between $400 and $500 a month for a full-time outsourcer. So we're just going to give you the contact for the information so that you can go and research yourself, right? So if you want to say it and also put it in the box, or tell me the name.
Yeah, okay. So the actual company name, and probably if you just Google this, you'll come up with Virtual Staff Finder.
So Virtual Staff Finder. Virtual Staff Finder. And what's the guy's name of the company?
Chris Ducker.
Chris Ducker. Is it?
Yeah, that's his company.
So Virtual Staff Finder, Chris Ducker.
You know what? Yep, there's all.
There's heaps, but
there's companies everywhere. However, just look at the time zone differences. One of the things that I learnt is that you really need to have like a 3-hour overlap.
Yes.
Between your VA time zone and yours. So being in the US, although Hawaii may be different, being in the US, they tend to have a few problems with virtual staff in the Philippines, and it's probably because of that time zone.
Yeah, there's Odesk, there's Elance, there's a number of them. However, it's just the biggest pain in the butt going through places like Odesk and Elance. I've found one in all my years, one outsourcer from Elance that was any good. One. Right? And I've held on to them for a year. Right?
Wow.
The rest are just rubbish because they disappear, they do crap work and stuff like that. So a service like Virtual Staff Finder, they vet out all these outsourced.
Yep.
Seriously?
That's huge.
Yeah, they vet them out, all that kind of stuff.
You can ask for a specific skill set.
Yeah.
Interview them. They'll give you a
list
of 3 after going through everything, and you pick the one that suits you best, or look for someone else.
Yeah, we were talking to a woman that's just hired 2 from the service, 2 at, I think it's like $400 a month, 2 full-time staff, and she was only looking for 1, but the quality was so good that she got 2, right? So there you go. Anyway, so
here's something for you. Just sorry, Dwayne, just really quickly, for those of you thinking that you can't afford this woman hasn't even started her business yet.
Yes.
And she's hiring virtual staff because she's aware of how important it is to focus on the stuff that she does best. The incidental, answering emails and stuff.
The high impact, right? The high impact.
Exactly.
So the other thing is that you might be thinking, well, that doesn't apply to me, right? Because I don't have a business. You can literally outsource anything. Yeah, don't matter what it is. There was, in this particular mastermind that I spoke at, there was a woman there who's a branding expert, and she outsources presents for her family, right? To her outsourcer, they go and choose the presents and they purchase them and everything like that. So there's nothing that you can't outsource. So, you can just do, they won't clean my pub, right? No. Says Moz. But there's a cleaning, people you can get to clean it, right? You can get a cleaning, right? But how's this? They won't clean your pub, Moz, but if you had a virtual staff member, you could say, hey, listen, what I want you to do is I want you to go and research the particular area of London, and I want you to find me a cleaner. I want you to tell me, this is what I'm willing to pay. I want you to find me the best cleaner. That way, you don't have to do anything about it, right? You just hand it off, right? Same with us in regards to our support team. We are now going to an automated Zendesk support, right? So that way it streamlines our support system. So we're going to that now. So that will be a learning experience for all our support staff. And it's just about taking it off the save me pile and making it as automated as possible and as streamlined as possible and a great customer experience as possible. Okay? So, Kiami, one thing.
Yes,
what are you going to do this next week? One thing.
I'm signing up for Virtual Staff Finder as we speak.
Good man. Excellent. Okay, so the thing I would suggest to you is just really clarifying those 3 areas, the high impact area that you need to be working on, and get as much as you can off those other 2.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. What I'd also suggest you do is, then this is for everyone again, is post your results within the coalition forum. You know,
Okay.
post your lists in that coalition forum. You know, your 3 lists, because there may be people in there that go, oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? Be able to help you out even more. So if you do that, plus solutions that you've come up with would be really cool in the coalition forum. So you might be, someone might come up, oh, geez, never thought of that. And you've helped someone else out. Power of the mastermind. Cool. Is there anything you want to ask Kiami before we move on to the next person? Kiami, you still there?
I'm sorry, me? Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm here. Yes, no. I was just writing down what you were talking about, hosting the 3 high-impact 3 areas, making your list available in the coalition forum, and any discoveries, anything that we've discovered from this process. So,
your 3 critical focus areas would really need to be narrowed down right now too, based on this exercise, I would suggest.
Yes, absolutely.
Only come from that high-impact area.
Right. Do I have any questions? Nope, I don't think I do at the moment. I've got a lot to work on.
Okay, cool. So next time I want to hear the progress from this clarification for yourself. Good talking to you. And it's good to have it.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Cool. Talk to you soon. Next is Luciano. Luciano, how did we go since the last time we spoke, young man?
Actually, not bad, not bad. I am pretty excited over the things that I'm discovering.
That's good. I'm pleased about that.
Even if I am messing up, I'm actually aware of the things that are going on. It's very interesting.
Speaking of that, here's an interesting statistic, right? Because we basically haven't traded. Right? I'm with our best traders, right? I'm in a retreat with our very best traders. Okay? And we don't trade, right? And yet I get sent emails about our trade volume for our clients. So naturally I'm an optimist and expect to see nothing that our clients haven't been trading, right? But guess what? Just for G options, and I'll only use one, G options, our clients managed to put about $60,000 worth of volume using no trade analysis last week. Interesting, isn't it?
Whoa. Well, let me tell you, I did not get to that point, but wow.
That's
that
interesting.
was not just me. I got some help over there.
But what that tells me is, one, there's something very, very wrong with their mindset.
Yeah.
And the need to trade, right? Why do people feel the need to trade?
Well, let me tell you, I was doing great. I did not trade on Sunday night, which is when my Asian session begins. I did not trade Monday.
Yeah.
And I was doing perfectly until I actually had a conversation with my mother, actually. And this is actually kind of personal. The thing is that I wasn't speaking with her, because I was doing all this personal development. I was doing all those things, that I just didn't feel the necessity of actually communicating. But she began to feel desperate.
Yeah.
And she totally managed to actually transmit that desperation into me. Because it's a matter of credit cards and little debt that we actually have. We have endeavored because of my fault, and I'm taking responsibility. I'm taking the actions to actually go ahead and and
get rid of it. Handle it.
Not only get rid of it, but I mean it's part of my process. I am where I'm supposed to be, and that's a good thing.
Yep.
I don't find it a bad thing, but I felt a dichotomy here. On one side was the sense of responsibility, and on the other side was the sense of approval. And what I mean by this is when I spoke about the plan, I was on one side trying to get her to be comfortable with some I was in the attempt of making her be calm.
Yeah.
Well, one should say that, okay, I'm responsible for my own state of mind. If I'm responsible for my own state of mind, why should I be responsible for somebody else? I am responsible for communicating, but so it's very what actually is getting me. It's what are the filters that I'm developing here.
So let me ask you a question, a simple yes or no question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you trade last week?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Why?
Well,
Why
on
do you
one
think?
side,
Why do you think you traded last week?
it was the necessity of trading, and I got rid of it, but
No, you didn't, because you traded last week.
well,
It's still there. It's still there.
Exactly. But the element that got in, that I didn't filter, was the intranquility of somebody else's intranquility. Managed to upset my state of mind.
Yes. So
And
you
that
let
was in.
you let someone else. Yeah. You let someone
Yeah.
else influence.
No, what I'm sorry, but what I hear is
Justification.
my mother was upset, so I did this. Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, I'm not saying that I did it or something. Did it on purpose or actually hurt anybody. The conversation actually implied a lot of things. Basically, we actually have an opportunity of actually having a family meeting in Italy where, and so actually we have family in California. I'm from Argentina, and the thing was, this was one of my dad's dreams. He's actually been trying to put that together since, I don't know, 2011 or something like that.
Mm.
And one of the things that happened was that she even told me something that actually is perturbed. I mean, I don't know the word in English, but it really pissed me off, basically, because she pretty much said, you know what, if this is the situation still in October, I'm not going to go to that family trip. We should not be spending our money, and that goes against what Sue was talking about having that feeling of abundance and having a sense of, okay, I can enjoy this, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing everything in my power to go ahead and accomplish the things I want.
Yep.
And that I need to do.
Same way.
Her feelings are her feelings, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's not up to you, and we discussed this, you know, when we spoke, that it's not your responsibility to make your girlfriend happy, your mother happy, your father happy. It's your responsibility to make you happy, and they are responsible for their own happiness. However, they don't understand that. Right?
Yes, I know. I know.
She's going to put this onto you, but you know, you can't allow yourself to feel guilt, and you know, as parents, we're actually really good at doing this to our kids.
Well, and that's the thing. I learned about a filter last week that actually when I sat down and traded, I was like, flip, why am I trading? Why am I doing something that I have all the reasons not to do?
And what did you come up with? What did you come up with?
What I came up with was I had to ease the feelings of somebody else. And how to do that? By talking with them for about 1 hour and a half, 3 hours a day, to actually communicate, you know, and actually make them feel that everything is fine. And when you're trying to convince somebody else that something is fine, I mean, okay, yes, you might transmit that to them, but they're transmitting something to you that something is not fine, and I'm not doing enough. And that's the message I pretty much got. And what I came up with is like the influence of somebody else was like, you're not doing enough. And when I look at my schedule, I pretty much since May or April and May, I've been having like 16-hour days, and they're amazing, but I feel I need to do more and more and more. And when I look at the wealth dynamics profile of the star, you know, when the more you put on your back, you know, the more you will fail. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, maybe that's exactly what happened, but there's something similar, something along those lines.
Again, what we were just talking about there and what we talked about in the 4% exercise and what you've just talked about with wealth dynamics profiling, that, you know, you look at what you're good at and you need to get rid of all the things that you're not good at, right? And get those that are good at those things to do those things. What we still haven't come back and discovered is, why did you trade last week?
Well,
knowing full well that there was no trade analysis and that your odds of being successful were not good, because I see the results, so I know what happened to the majority, right, of that $60,000 volume.
So now I have a question, Luciano.
No, I want the answer of this first.
Okay, the
well,
answer
it ties in.
Okay, why did I trade? Because I felt compelled to trade, to actually go ahead and get out of debt. I totally went outside of my plan. My plan is a plan to actually be financially independent in like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. I was like, and that's the thing, you know. It's like, no, you should be financially independent today. You motherfucker or whatever. It was like you're gonna do it today because you're a badass. You know, no, that's not the case. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. So
I'm actually destroying all the things that I've been learning in just a couple of hours. And it's not a matter of winning the trade or losing the trade. I traded when actually I was not supposed to trade. And even if I would have won, if I would have lost, I had already lost because I traded anyway, and that's not what
you're trading to, as someone said, David Farrell, and it's interesting how David Farrell said this, because you're trading to make money, right? That's why you're trading.
In that case, I was.
The mindset of a successful trader is they are trading to not lose money. All right. So a person that's trading to not lose money, because it's all about managing your risk first and foremost. No trade is always the first decision. That's what the 5% do. Okay? You were trading the complete opposite mindset. Right? And see, because of the pressure to make money, the pressure to be financially independent, whatever it happened to be, okay? This is this overreaching pressure that you're seeing, right? David Farrell had the same pressure. Now, because what he's looking at doing is developing multiple streams of income, what's happened is that he's now taken that pressure off himself, because the money taps are not trading money taps. Okay? His money taps are now businesses that he's developing to create the capital to put into trading. So the trading vehicle is now about managing risk. He's got the other things that he's working on, the other areas that are going to bring in that capital to create for his trading account. And the mindset is now significantly different because he's done that.
So there are two things that come to mind. One of them is I actually had a plan and I was not following it. And on the other side is like, how sound is my plan in this case? Because if I would be confident that I would be, because when I look at it and I look at the numbers and the time and everything, I say, well, you know what, this is really going to take 3-4 years, but nevertheless, it doesn't matter. I should stay on track and stay on it, and it's
How old are you now?
Work out.
How old are you now?
I'm 28.
Okay, so
I'm actually turning 29 next Sunday.
Happy birthday for then. But say 29, right? So in 4 years' time, let's say 4 years, you're going to be 33.
Mm-hmm.
right? Is there any reason why you wouldn't feel that you've accomplished something being financially free at 33?
That's the thing. It would be, you know, even if it's at 35 or 37, that will still be a great thing.
Okay.
You know, I can
listen to yourself now. Listen to yourself now. All right. There's no hurry. Right. Majority of people never get to retire. And here you are putting a plan in place to ensure you've got cash flow coming in from key multiple sources, not just one, okay, multiple sources, so that you can be divorced of your income by the age of 33, 34, 37, whatever it happens to be, right? Just notice the emotion, the feeling that's going through your head now. That's what you want to focus on, right? You need to put a process in place to stop you from doing the things that you're doing. Because all you're doing is you're sabotaging yourself, right? And you're going through life storms. Have you identified this pattern that's causing you to do this?
Yes, this one was dependence in this case.
Dependence.
And in the sense, well, what I'm reading here is straight from it. It says parents make decisions for you. They give you little responsibility, or it's either this or the exact opposite. So it's like they criticize your opinions, or you know, how I should say is like they give you too many responsibilities. In this case, it's like, no, you should pay this debt now, and they praise my opinions as if it was they were the best opinions of the world. So they give excessive advice and instruction, you know, and basically the only thing that I need to do is take on new responsibilities at work gradually, and that's what I sent you in the email saying, well, I traded. I know this was the wrong thing, so I didn't trade it. I didn't trade the rest of the days on
Nah. That doesn't make no difference, mate.
No, that I know. I still.
What you did is you actually you reinforced a behaviour that's not in your own best interests, right? So you have broken a sacred trust with yourself, is what you've done, right?
And I need to gain that back.
You need to gain that back, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
So
for myself.
Here's my advice to you. Here's my action step to you, my suggestion, and Sue's going to say something after as well. But this particular thing that you've got going on that makes you do these impulse actions, right? You need to, one, eliminate the cause, whatever it is, and, you know, eliminate it. You've got to find everything that causes you, and this is, you've got to go back through time and notice these particular instances that have come up, and you've got to eliminate the cause. There'll be causes that happen time and time again, right? And then you've got to go into the Life Storm manual, and you've got to work on the overcoming of that obstacle. You've got to somehow put a process in place to ensure that when this happens, an anchor to stop you from doing this, because this will destroy your trading account.
Yeah, and that's actually what happened in September.
I know.
And let me tell you, there was a conversation with my mother, and then that time too. You know, it's like, well, it's not. I mean, it's okay. But the question would be, how do I filter the information, and how do I get a buffer zone so I can really be protected against those difficult times? Because I mean, a conversation with your mother, that should be a good thing. That should be something that actually steers you into the right direction, not into the wrong one, right?
Let me jump in here. Luciano, you're nearly 29 years old, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All I hear is my mother this, my father that, my parents this and that, right? You're not taking responsibility.
I know.
So if you take responsibility, I think you'll find that a lot of these problems are going to dissolve immediately, because you'll be far more aware and far less allowing, or, and I'm not saying you're blaming your parents, but in a way you are. You are using them as an excuse for why you are failing. Okay, so you need to start, it's not what they're saying to you, it's not what they're doing, it's how you are reacting to it. Okay, it's always going to be about how you react to it. Mm-hmm. So you need to take responsibility where you are now, and we are all the same, and I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Where you are now is because of the decisions you have made, right? Not your mother, not your father, because even if they made the decisions for you, you made the choice to let them make that decision.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's what's scaring me, in the sense that what I've been attempting to do is to really generate better communications, because for what I've been noticing, my way of delivering information and actually reading information from other people has not been the best at all.
So you know what, like this, honestly, I'm now at the point where I'm going to say to you, excuse my language, stop dicking around, right? You are a smart guy. You are using, you know, I don't take it in the same, I'm not communicating this. It's all just excuses, Luciano. Okay, and you have to look at it, face up to it and go, you know what, this is my life and I'm responsible for it, and now I'm going to move forward each day doing the best I can do for me.
Exactly.
Right? Not for everybody else.
And my question right there would be okay, I have all this information, and the only thing I know, I just need to take action.
Yes.
It's not a matter of but it's, I could be a smart guy, but let me tell you, a lot of people can tell me that. Nevertheless, I might think I know a lot of information. I might think I know a lot of stuff. I might think last year I read probably 17, 18 books. I endeavored in the high performance academy and all that stuff. And in the end, you know, I have all this information, but I don't apply it. That means I know nothing.
That's right.
What is the point of knowing all this stuff if I'm just going to be sitting around and
well, you're the only one who can decide whether or not you're going to take action on this stuff. You know, sitting around on your ass is your choice. Right. Reading something and taking action on it is also your choice. Okay? It's just, you can sit there for the next 10 years saying, I know all this stuff, but I'm just sitting here not doing anything. And in 10 years' time, it's still going to be your responsibility. Okay? It's just stop overthinking it and start doing it. It is quite simple.
Here's what I see, right? And I was in your situation, right? And this is going to wrap it up. Then we're moving on to the next one, right? Otherwise, we'll be here all night going over something what you need to do. You know what you need. You, Luciano.
We are chasing our tails. Yes.
No, you know what you need to do.
Yes.
Do it, right? Next time I want to hear you've done it. That's it. Just do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, your life is going to be an absolute misery. You're going to get to the end of your life and you're going to have so many regrets. And you don't want to do that. All right. When I was building, I have an issue with my mother, right? This is just me being open. And when I was building what I needed to build, I never spoke to my mother nor saw her during that period of time.
How long did it take, may I ask?
How long did it take me? By the age of 33, I was financially free.
No, I mean,
That's how long. It took me about
33 years total.
I was 33 years old, right? But there was times there when I just could not. I can't spend 20 minutes in the room without my mum having a negative impact on my environment. Okay, so it's a decision that I needed to take, right? And so I do take, when I'm building something, I need to focus, right? And so regardless of what I need to do, it gets done. Okay, and it might sound very harsh. It might not sound, like for those of you that have, amazingly fantastic relationships with your family, that's awesome. And I wish it was like that for me. But there are hard decisions that need to be made if you want to get to where you need to go. And you need to make the decisions. Whatever it is, you need to make them until it's done. And then, by all means, try and do whatever you need to do. Okay, but it just having a massive impact on you.
Yes.
Not a good one. Okay, but you need to do what you need to do, right? And you do it in your time frame. I'm not telling you to do what I did. It worked for me, and I got my relationship back on track with my mum as well, right? But there's still things that we clash on. We have totally different views of the world, totally different. But she was an amazing mum. I love my mum, and she looked after us as kids, right? And I will be forever grateful for the opportunity that she put in front of me. But I needed to do certain things, so I took responsibility and did what needed to be done. And that's what you need to do, right? So your action step is to do what you need to do. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I've got a question. Do you suggest handling spouse and children this way? I'm not giving anyone any relationship advice, right? I'm just telling you what I did. Okay? Ideally, everyone should be on the same page.
Everybody's going to do it differently.
But ideally, you're going to be successful if everyone's on the same page. John's got, as an example, John Tungseth's got his partner's right behind him. Moz is in the same situation, partner right behind him. So ideally, if everyone's on the same page, and David Farrell, same thing, ideally, that's the best situation. But it comes back to how bad do you want it, right? You're doing this for the people that you love, if you're your spouse, your kids, that kind of thing. You got to set an example for them. Set an example as to what they could do if they only set their mind to it and took the action, right? Anyway, Luciano, so that's your action step from my end, right? What you do with it, entirely up to you, buddy. Being smart doesn't mean you're able to look after yourself in retirement. But there's a lot of what they call educated derelicts, is the old saying.
Yeah, well, actually, one last thing. If you actually have a chance of taking a look at the movie, The Great Beauty, it's an Italian movie, and I just watched it this weekend. And it's just that. It's like a lot of people that actually the main character is a guy that could have been an amazing writer, and he only wrote one book.
Yeah.
And everybody was wondering, why the hell did he only write one novel?
It's because they don't take responsibility, they don't take action. Right? That's basically what it is, right? And it all comes back to self-image, not believing in themselves. Okay. So, Luciano, you've got your action step. I expect to hear the results next time we speak, okay?
Totally.
Good man. Okay, next I've got Donna. If we can find her. Donna. Okay, Donna, go for it. What results have you achieved in the last 10 days, fortnight? She's not going to do this again, is she? Donna? You there, Donna? Okay, we'll come back to you. Jean Lillehagen is back, so we'll get on to him. Okay, anyone else that wants to participate, just in that Q&A box. Donna, if you sort out your issues with your microphone, let's chat. Dawn?
Morning.
Morning. Oh, well, evening. How are you?
Oh, morning here. Oh, man.
Okay, so what have you been up to in the last fortnight? What results have you achieved? What are you working on in this next week coming?
A lot of things. There's not enough hours in a day, eh?
So that
Oh,
exercise
man.
would have been good for you then. The high impact.
Oh, yes. It was.
Okay, go for it. What are you going to be doing?
Well, you want me to tell what I did or what I'm going to do?
What you did, results,
Yeah.
what you're going to do now, based on what you've learnt so far, what you need to do in the coming week ahead.
Yeah, of course I've been working on the tasks. It's a huge job.
Absolutely.
Because you told us to be top-notch this time. Well, any time actually, but this time, yeah. So thanks to David Farrell, we have a concept for our group that it helps us to have a bit more time on our tasks. So thanks, David. You are awesome, man.
Well,
I needed to have a bit more time. Yeah.
beautiful. I like that.
Yeah.
Always helping one another out.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I finally completed the online shop I had an order on. So we went live last week.
Fantastic.
And that was a huge job. But we went live and it's going good. So I'm satisfied with that one.
Beautiful.
And I also completed a mobile optimized website order. I had, about 14 days ago.
Yep.
It's also completed, so I sent it just before this weekend. I've also been working on arbitrage magician system. I'm working on residual income, some other incomes.
Yep.
Besides trading. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, I'm pretty good at these things, and I didn't know how powerful it was because I found a winner, and it's taking off. And when I've been working this whole weekend, and when I got home last night,
yeah,
I had some orders, so I had to fill it out.
Woohoo!
So I need to look into outsourcing because it takes a lot of time, the paperwork and everything. Yeah.
So there you go. So those of you that think you can't sell, and it's physical product. Physical product, is it?
It is, yes. It's something stupid, but it was fun.
Hey, but it's
something
sold.
I'm passionate about.
Beautiful. Okay, so now it's about scaling that. You got to scale it now.
It is. I tested a bit on different products,
Yep.
and I wasn't successful right away.
No, you never.
But I was thinking, what am I passionate about? And I found one thing that I'm always talking about, and that is coffee. And
And you're not the only one that's passionate about coffee, right? There's plenty of people that are passionate about coffee.
Yeah, I realized because I'm getting orders and Facebook fans on my Facebook page I created as well. It's taking off. It's really fun.
There's a story, right? I just want to say there's a couple of things that you could do there, right? And you're in the group with Kyami and David Farrell and Daryl, are you? Are you all together? You're magicianing?
Yeah.
You're magicianing? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a couple of things that you create the store, obviously. You create a website for it as well. Are you using Facebook ads on this?
Yeah, that's the traffic.
Scale.
And
You want to scale it up, right? You want to scale it up. But what I was going to say is there's a story. The guy is, I think he was 15 years old, 16 years old. Okay? And he was doing a school project. And, at school they do these projects that they create a business. And he found this, he put together all of these ingredients and created this tea, right, that he then whacked a website up on the internet, right? And then they actually featured him on one of the current affairs channels here in Australia. He's like 16 years old. And they interviewed his mum and dad, and he was he created this blend of tea, put the website up, and he was getting these orders coming in. And so he would then get someone to put all the, put the blend together, and then he would ship it from his bedroom. Right, so order would come in, he'd package it up and send it off, right? 16-year-old interviewers, and they said to his parents, what do you think about this? And, are you going to stop him? Are you going to make him go to university? And his parents said, we're not going to tell him to do anything. He makes more money than us. Right. He's 6 figures. He makes 6 figures from selling tea out of his bedroom.
Wow.
He's like 15, 16 years old.
And if you don't believe that people will pay a lot for tea, let me just tell you that I drink a particular blend of herbal Chinese medicinal tea, and I pay $40 for 8 tea bags. Okay,
Yes.
So there are people out there like me.
That's right. Well, another thing you might want to start looking at is white labeling too, in regards to your coffee thing, maybe.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up tea, because I was looking at some products that is causing a lot of stir on the internet, and people are passionate about it. You can use it for both coffee and tea.
Yep.
And I was looking into to expand it into tea as well.
Test
so
it.
We'll see.
Test it out.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. That's
well, yeah, I was a bit overwhelmed because I didn't. Actually, when I stopped the traffic from Facebook, because you need to do it properly, and I didn't do that at the start. So I spent a bit too much on traffic at the start, and I narrowed it down on targeting and everything. But I stopped it for a while, and I thought that was it. But it already started to scale into the Facebook page and everything, and I'm still getting orders after I turn off the traffic.
I'm just going to give you an idea that Ezra shared. Okay.
Yeah.
This is something that Ezra shared. He's a bit of a magician when it comes to Facebook, and it's never turn off your traffic.
No, that was a financial
Right.
decision.
No,
but I'm
never
gonna turn it on again.
What you do, because of Facebook's logarithms, when you stop traffic, it never, most of the time, never comes back to what it was. Okay, so all you do is you just drop down the amount that you're going to spend, right, to like a really, really small amount, so that it's never stopped. It'll just keep coming, and then you can scale it back up when you want to scale it. All right.
Yeah,
but never.
And I also noticed when I started, it takes a while for it to really start to kick in. But when it kicks in, it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a tip from Ezra Firestone that is, a pretty good tip. Yeah, just the way that Facebook run their logarithm. There is, They tend to not like you turning your traffic on and off, pausing campaigns and then restarting them. They don't like that at all. So just drop down the amount to a really small amount or whatever it is, and then up you go, right?
Yep.
Cool. So the other thing is you might want to check out some of Ezra's physical product pages. Sue, did you take Sue might have a photo that she might upload for you guys, which is how Ezra now sets up his physical product pages for you. And
please do.
If you're going to look at the way, if you're going to see how it should be done, then this is a great way to look at it. Actually, not just physical product pages, but look at it, any page that you put up. Okay, your home website, whatever website you build it like they build it. Right, and he knows what he's doing. So if Sue makes a note, she might be able to post that for you guys in the PPA area there, just what Ezra is doing with his physical product pages for Amazon. Cool bananas? Okay, so what are you working on this coming week?
It's to finish on both of those tasks primarily.
Yeah,
I will
that is
finish that one. Yeah.
that's a big focus for you too, given that you're such good. This is a major area of opportunity for you, trading. So,
Yeah.
absolutely, to the best
It
of
is.
your ability, till it's done.
Yeah. And I have some. We had a meeting with Donna and Daryl and David and some other people the last week, and I got some really good ideas for expanding on making some residual income online.
Excellent.
Yeah, it includes trading and binary options actually, and put myself out there. We'll see. We'll see. I'll need to talk to you about that as well, Dwayne.
Is that right?
It will benefit you and BOE.
You're going to set up an opposition, are you? Right.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I know you have an affiliate program going on in BOE, so we'll see.
Yeah. I think you might find in your client agreement. You might want to read your client agreement.
That's why I need to talk to you. Yeah. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I will just move on to something else. Yeah, that's okay.
No, hey, because here's the thing, right? You're good at what you do. However, and this is not being a big head or anything, right? 7 days out of 7 days, I always have a bigger business than you will, because I can I can sell and I can market.
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't matter how good your product is. If you cannot sell and you cannot market, you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
Right. That's why we're the best at what we do, because we can sell, we can market, and we have the best product that's out there. And I knew that from way back, right? I know that. Cool. Anyway, so what's the one thing that you're going to do this week?
Oh, can you repeat that? You were gone for a few seconds.
What's the one thing that you will accomplish this week?
I'm going to scale up the arbitrage magician system I have going on, and you said one. I have more. The 2 tasks, and scale it up.
Okay.
Where I've started here. I need to focus and narrow it down. Yes.
Beautiful.
Do it properly.
Good stuff. No, I'm pleased. I'm pleased about that. Pleased to see that you got a result from taking action. Right. That's what it's all about. It's about the taking of the action, and results will come. And not everything will be successful. Right. You'll have losing, Facebook campaigns and products that don't sell and all that kind of stuff. But it's once you find that winner, scale it, right? Make money work from it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I did a lot of tweaking to both the ads and the traffic and the targeting. It's really important, and also the copywriting on your ads and on your page.
Yep.
It makes a huge difference.
Oh, of course it does.
Yeah.
So these are things that now that you know how important they are, wouldn't it make sense now to find some people that are, say, the best at it, possibly?
Yep.
To be able to, leverage your time, maybe. And you have got access to a lot of them within that PPA members area. A lot of those guys are some of the best in the business in their particular fields.
Yeah, I noticed. So I'm gonna get in touch.
Good stuff. Okay. So next, thank you, Zion, and I will be talking to you Wednesday, by the way.
Yep.
Wednesday, you'll be there? Good man.
Yep.
Okay, I'll talk to you then. Good talking to you.
Yep.
Congratulations, buddy. Right, let's try Donna again. Otherwise, I'll talk to Donna on Wednesday too. I'll try you again, Donna. Let's see. Donna?
I got you, I think.
Woohoo! Yeah, you're there, right. Well, man. Okay. Same thing. Last couple of weeks, what have you been doing? Results, and what's the one thing that you're going to accomplish in this coming week?
I've been working on my personal development consulting business.
Yep.
I signed up for a life coaching course.
Good stuff.
So right now I'm in the midst of doing this course. It's a certification course. Hope to have it done in 2 weeks.
Beautiful. And
I've also been working on the webinar, Dwayne.
Yep.
Yes. For BOE as well as the other personal development site that I belong to.
Okay, yeah.
They're putting together a 24-hour webinar, and they've asked 48 people to present a half-hour webinar on personal development.
Awesome.
I'm also working on that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
Things they're coming together. They're moving along.
Okay, there's a couple of tips that I'll give you on Wednesday about that, about your
Okay.
about your webinar. I won't do it here, but I'll give you tips on that on Wednesday. Cool. So that's awesome. I'm really pleased you're taking some action there, right?
Yep.
Definitely taking some action, right? Okay, so what results have you got over this last couple of weeks?
The stuff that I'm doing actually within BOE, you know, all the mentoring that I started doing within BOE,
Yeah.
and just all the well, it's actually the feedback that I've started to get from everybody within BOE. Like I'm getting private messages from people
That's fantastic.
saying that we're an awesome job and yada, 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 and it's like, whoa. Not something that I expected.
You're very
It's
good.
really nice to hear.
We
So
talk-
to me, that people are, well, they're paying attention, they're getting something out of it, so it's
Yep.
helping somebody,
Awesome.
and that's the biggest thing for me, as long as it helps at least one person.
I'm seeing them starting to take action too, which is good. Those people that you're mentoring, which is excellent. You know, it shows that obviously what you're sharing with them, you got some influence there to get them to take the action, which is important, right? So obviously
If I
I'm
need
the,
to get the website, I bring it.
obviously I'm not doing a good job because only one person did an exercise that I said that they should without fail do, you know, but you know, you get that. Anyway.
I'll push this one on to everybody else now.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, and I found that I focused on PD consultancy stuff, so working on this business for myself,
Yep.
opposed to what I was working on before.
Okay.
I'm focusing, the majority of my time now is on focusing on this, getting this the way I want it to go, and getting things up and running on this side. So there's not as much focus on my other businesses, if you like.
You're passionate about this, but you're passionate about the sharing and, you know, being able to share what you know with others, and you could see that come through. So, you know,
Extremely passionate about this.
I always thought that it was where you should be focusing a lot of your time, right? So now it's you need to really look at the, like I just said with Jean there, it's all right. It doesn't matter how good you are at what you do, right? You need to be able to sell and market your services, right?
Yes.
Either be able to sell and market your services or be able to connect with people who are very good at those particular areas of expertise, right? You can sell and market with using things like Facebook and, you know, those kind of things to be able to market your webinars and whatever you want to do, right? But
Yeah, I've already spoken to a few people and I've given them a heads up that I'm going to be contacting them.
Yep.
Because that's not my expertise, and I know that they are good at that, so I'm going to utilize these guys.
Absolutely. Good idea. So that's about leveraging your time, making sure that you're only working on that high impact area that you need to work on. Okay. So what's the minimum, what's the one thing, right? Your highest priority this coming week that you will, without fail, accomplish?
This week, I think it's going to be the webinar. I've been working on it for a while, so I want to focus on that and get that done.
Fantastic. Okay, so next week, you be prepared to do it for our guys
Next
and girls?
week as in when? Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday?
I'll work that out. Yeah, it'll be sometime next week, right?
I was going to talk to you about it on Wednesday anyway.
Cool bananas. So we'll sort out the date then, right? So those of you that want to hear some life-changing information, then Donna will be sharing that with you next week. Cool. I'm in. David Farrell's in already. That's what I like to see. So we'll send that out next week sometime, right? But I think that's fantastic. You're definitely on the right track where you should be focusing your area of expertise. And I'll help you out with some stuff on Wednesday when I talk to you.
Okay, awesome.
Cool. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll just get on to John Tungseth before he goes to work. John? Johnny? Hello? John Tungseth? Wait. Don't tell me to wait, right? Okay. While I'm waiting for John to somehow get to the line, is there anyone else besides Daryl Osden? Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. And there's something that you guys have got to ask me if I remember. So if you want to share in the Q&A box now is a good opportunity. Otherwise, we're just waiting for John because he's got to go to work. So Stephen. So I've got Daryl Osden and Stephen. John, you with us?
Now I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, hear you fine.
Okay, I went from speaker mode to headset mode, so it took a little bit. I had to change hardware.
You're right, mate. Okay, so what you've been doing the last couple of weeks, results, and what you're going to accomplish in the next week.
I did not do any trading.
Good man.
You know, I know better than that. We've had that discussion a few times before with
We
other
have.
people. What I've been working on myself is a personal road that only somebody like myself is going to understand. You got to understand when I go to work, which I will be going to work within 30 minutes here, I've got to break up my sleep. And the one thing I have accomplished that I'm very proud of is that I have broken up my sleep pattern. I've broken my day not to a 24-hour day. I've broken it into a 12-hour day. So I'm going 12 hours, taking a 2 to 4 hour power nap. Go another 12 hours, 2 to 4 hour power nap. And in one of those 12-hour segments, I've got to do 8 to 12 hours of work. Okay. My work day, I have no control over it. None. None whatsoever. I've been suspended because I've left work. And we've got labor laws in this country, and I work has a union, and I have to ask when it's time for me to leave. So I feel like, you feel like a kid again. You're treated that way. Is it okay for me to go now? Yeah, I guess you can go now. I left one day last fall after working 12 hours. We had people who could have taken my place. I was exhausted, and I basically just walked off and said to another guy here, I'm going. I've had enough for the day. And the supervisor wrote me up, and I got a 3-day suspension from work on that. By the way, that was also at the same time when we talked about I took holiday around Thanksgiving last year. I traded on those 3 days I was suspended, and I made more money trading than being at work. So, I got the last laugh on that one. But breaking up my week, breaking up my day, and just doing a 12-hour day, 2 to 4 hours of sleep, 12 hours again, 2 to 4 hours of sleep. I've been doing that now for almost a month, and it's taken some time to get the body and to get the mind working. But even with this last week, we're not trading, and I'm not up at this time of the day, which right now is my 4 a.m. trading. I'm still taking that afternoon nap. I'm still taking that early nap before the trading session too. So the habit, the body is already and the mind is already going because the habit was already started. So even when we're not trading, I'm still doing the same schedule. Keeping
the body and the mind in that same success schedule, so to speak.
Yep. And the thing about it is there was a day, it was Friday in fact. I had the opportunity to do some stuff through the afternoon. I got even done early that day at work. I put just an 8-hour day in.
Yeah.
And you know what? I went home and I slept for three hours. Mm-hmm. And there was no need for it because there was no trading. I could have had a full night's sleep. So the mind and the body are already going.
It's all about creating that environment around what your success environment, whatever works for you. And you've obviously got a nice little routine going there now. Here's the one thing. You got to really now, there's still this something else is in control of your life.
Oh, big time.
Right? And it's you that put it there. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
And
The
only person that can change that is you too.
Oh, exactly. But the thing about it is, Dwayne, that I'm appreciative of you guys is you've empowered me. When I took this job 18 years ago, I was fired over the phone from my previous job. I'm serious. I was fired over the phone. They would not even let me come in to do the investigation. I was wrongfully fired.
Yeah.
In fact, I qualified for unemployment because I went to the unemployment office. I filled out all the forms. I sat down with the interview, and I had 4 people from that office interview me and ask me all the same questions, and I gave them all the same answers. And they're going, "Why did that happen?" I go, "I don't think they like me very much." So they, of course, have to do the legal paperwork and send the documents to the company and ask why was he fired. And they really never gave a good answer as far as the unemployment office was concerned. So they basically said, yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. So you qualify for unemployment. Well, I was not happy to have unemployment. I needed the work. So I think it was less than a week being fired and starting a new job right away. And at the time where I work at right now, they were desperate. They were desperate to have new employees.
Yep.
And I was desperate for a paycheck.
Yep. You were desperate.
I was desperate. My first wife Nancy and I at that time, we lived on one paycheck per month, and that was mine.
Yeah.
That was mine. I mean, you bet. I worked my ass off.
Okay, that's in the past, right?
That's the past story.
We're working to get you to where you need to go, right? So, what's the one thing, John, you are going to do this week?
I'm going to be working on tasks. I've been working on my own personal ones.
Yep.
Those of you who are on this call that are on my team, I need your cooperation. Dwayne, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm pissed off. And I'm not whining. I'm not complaining. I'm pissed off.
Here's the thing. Can you control what those other people are doing or not doing?
No.
Don't worry about it then. Don't worry about it. All right? Don't worry about it. Let it go.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I needed you to say that.
Right? It's like,
say that.
If there's one example of the things that you need to do, right, it's you can only control the things that you can control, right? And let everything else go. That's what this exercise is partly about, right? Being able to understand that in the markets, you have no control over the majority of things that happen. You have zero control over the result of a trade. Nothing, right? So that's why we design, this is why we design these tasks, right? For you to understand the mindset that it takes to be successful. And John's just got pissed off because other people won't do what he does, right? Guess what? That translates into the markets as well. Because you do not have any control over what happens in a trade. The only thing you do have control over is if you decide or when you decide to enter the market and the amount of money you risk on a trade.
You know what you're telling me? You're telling me exactly what I told a coaching client earlier this week.
Maybe you should listen to your own advice.
You're darn right. You're darn right.
Right. So, John, this week, what is the one thing that you're going to accomplish? Right. The one thing that you need to really work on is this job mentality mindset that you still have very heavily ingrained.
Yeah.
It's one thing you really need to work on, my friend. Very much.
it's been the dependence. See, that's just it.
Right. So you need to be looking at these, as we talked about, high impact activities, creating these multiple streams of income, right? So that you can let go of that thing that is in control of your life.
Well, I have some other multiple streams of income that are actually happening right now.
Good man.
They have to do with something that you and I talked about, what I am doing overseas.
Yep, that's right. In the Philippines.
That is happening.
Good stuff.
I guess, would you want me to share that with the Facebook group, or would you just want
Yeah,
me
well,
to just keep that to myself?
Keep that to yourself at the moment, right? Because
Okay.
it's an investment opportunity that you've worked hard to put together, so just keep that to yourself at the moment, right?
Okay.
But there's no reason why that can't actually be duplicated elsewhere. Or there's no reason why you can't create a business opportunity around that for others to do
we are
what
doing that.
you're doing.
We're doing that.
Okay, so just keep that, and we can talk about that some other time.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Okay, so the one thing that you're going to do this week, aside from working on your mindset, is your task completion.
Is
Isn't
my
it?
task. Yep, task.
And we will be talking tomorrow as I
Yep.
facilitate the Trade with the Trader session with the other
Yep.
dude on the call. Right? And
Sorry,
then
yeah, I got 2 minutes.
okay, that's right. So we'll wrap it up. Good
Okay,
man.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Right. Thanks,
Good
buddy.
talking to you.
You too, mate. Okay, so that's John. I'm now moving on to Daryl, and then last cab off the rank will be Stephen, right? So you guys have got approximately 7 minutes each, maximum, unfortunately, because it's gone for way too long. Daryl,
Yeah, turn me. There we go. The green light.
you're on, brother. You're on.
Okay. What I've done for the past 2 weeks, I've been talking to Jorn, and he's helped me significantly on my golf website. And I'm going live probably in about 5 or 6 hours on my arbitrage magician thing.
Woohoo.
So we'll see where that goes. I've taken some ideas from Dr. Ben and some of the other guys that are ahead of me, like David and Jorn both.
Yep.
So we'll see where that goes, and hopefully I have a little more success than I did with the T-shirts. But, you know, I was listening to the webinars, and I forgot how much you guys kicked my butt when we were going through the T-shirt stuff. But, you know, the NFL really got down on a lot of people over that stuff, and a lot of those campaigns got shut down.
Absolutely. So, you know, and once again, you don't have any control over that.
Nope.
You know, that's
Absolutely
just totally out of your control. But in saying that, you know, there's a lot of money to be made in those T-shirts, right? There's no reason there's no reason why you can't take that T-shirt philosophy and put it on your own website, or look to find outsource situations for it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
I've got
traffic to.
like Kaimi's doing. I've got
Yep.
some stuff on my golf website through Amazon. I'm an affiliate as well.
Good stuff.
I'm not marketing it so much, but I've got it as part of the total overall package. I just have to wait for the golf course to turn green before we really do any videos.
Yep. No, that's good to hear that. But once again, just let's get that out there, right, into the market, because it's about testing it and then tweaking it and then testing it, test. That's all you're going to be continually doing, both with your campaigns and also with your website design, with the products that you're selling, whatever it happens to be.
I mean, I've sent my website to several people and got some pretty good reviews. You know, they can. I was thinking about waiting a couple of weeks before I sent it to you, because you guys are a little more brutal than these guys are.
Yeah. There's one question that I'm going to give you that you should all be asking of your pages or your whatever it is that you're doing. What is the one thing that this X question mark, whatever it happens to be, is designed to do?
Call to action. Make money.
Right. So as you look at a page on your website or whatever it happens to be, what's the one thing that page is designed to do? And each page should only ever be designed for one thing, whatever that might be. So home page or opt-in page, that's all it's designed for. Get an email address.
That Yorn helped me significantly with that. I was totally stuck, so I reached out to the dude who, you know, and we've got our group, and we
Good stuff.
forming sort of a JV kind of thing.
I like it.
We're going together, well, 7 of us now. But anyway, you know, that'll congeal a little better as we go on. We have another meeting, well, for me, 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, but that's okay.
You never sleep, so
yeah, you know, I'm getting used to it.
So you've got that website going out there.
Yep.
What else? Have you had any results in this last period of time from anything that you've had out or been doing?
Like I'm just going live today with the arbitrage stuff, and then I'm gonna with the website. Like I said, I've been practicing some of the filming, but I've got to get a few microphones and stuff that are a little better with the wind. I mean,
okay.
I can do the editing. I just can't take the noise out.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, and I do the videos for our websites every 2 weeks, and I'm almost done with the PPA area. I mean the Platinum area now, so we'll see where that goes.
And then we've got that project that I talked about last time, so we'll we'll get on that once we've transferred that over. All right. John's just got a message. Daryl, he's just said to give him a contact him before you go live with your ads for the arbitrage magician, right?
Well, Yorn, you've seen what I'm going to put up, so if so I did send it to you, so let me know if you have any. You
guys sort that out amongst yourselves, right? So, what's the one thing that you're going to do this week? This is one thing it's going to be done, right?
Okay. Well, one, I've got to monitor my arbitrage stuff, and I'm also going to be. Let's see now. I wrote all this stuff down. I finished tasks 5 and 7. I have finished that little thing you sent out, and let's see. Wow.
What's in your high impact area? That's where you should be concentrating your time.
Yeah, and that's going to be the training for the arbitrage stuff at this point. Plus, there's another one in there, the last one that you put in, the reverse system. I've only gone through that once, and that's really good stuff, and I've got some ideas with that.
Well, see, that particular thing there, that could be your template for anything you do, anything you launch.
Yeah, actually it is.
It should be.
You know, I was going to talk about that with our group.
Absolutely.
Saturday.
Like if you all just ripped that apart, because that is set up by one of the best marketers out there.
Yeah, Fladlin's very good. I like the way he does stuff.
Yeah, he's one of the best marketers out there, right? There's only a few that you should really do what they do, right? And he is one of them. So, you know, I would be that's your template on, doesn't matter what you're looking at, template like that because that's basically how you make money, right? Funnily enough. So I would be looking at that. You know, the copy.
There's 2 of them, Fladlin and Dr. Ben, I think. Yeah,
there's people that you don't know, but, you know, those guys definitely are good. Definitely are the best of the, you know, out there, one of the best. That you guys could, at this stage in your development, could monetarily afford, so to speak. You know, there's others out there that are just, at the moment, that are, you know, just monetarily beyond your means, but are good. And you'll get to that level when you get to that level. When you need to get to that level, you move on to them. Right? That's just.
Yes, sir. I got my eyes on the prize or my fingers on the ring, whatever you want to say, you know.
That's it. Okay. So once again, I'll probably talk to you Wednesday too.
Yes, sir.
Good man. Good talking to you, and good to see you taking action. I'm looking forward to seeing those results as they come in, mate.
All right.
Okay, Stephen. Is there anyone else? other than Stephen that would like to get some help? Sue's been very quiet because she has had to go. She has an appointment. Where's Stephen? Stephen, where are you? Stephen. Ah, here you go. Stephen. Stephen, you are live.
Hey, how you guys doing?
I'm going very well. And how's yourself?
Great.
Okay, so
well, mine's
last 2 weeks, how have you been doing? What have you been doing? What result have you got? What are you doing next week?
The first week, as you said before, I attended the trades, did the sessions. Beside that, my main focus was to do to finish off the task.
Okay.
So that, yeah.
You've done that?
That's I finished the first one, but I'm just still working on the last one.
Okay. And then you've got your group ones, haven't you, to go?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so you've done that. There was no trading because I remember the task that I sent you was you to start to demo trade, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So that will be a continuation as we move into this week now. Because we want to.
That's the focus for me. Yeah, because I haven't really since I've started, I haven't really dig into it to actually start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something I would suggest you do over this next couple of weeks. Definitely is really so in this 2 week period you should be ready to go live by a maximum of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got your plan all done?
Yes, everything's up notch, and yeah, to continue my PD.
Yep.
With the money zone,
okay.
training zone, and yeah, I think that's the focus for me because any other thing's pretty much not in my lane at the moment.
Okay, so your key focus for this coming week is making sure that you get practice on that demo, following those trade plans, and getting feedback. Okay.
Yes.
So I want you to every day that you trade, or every session that you trade, to make sure that you're posting those screenshots onto the Facebook group, so that we can give you feedback for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So each for this 2 weeks, you should be ready to go live minimum, say 2 weeks from today, okay? Because you haven't really had that demo period, but that's your maximum, right? Because you need to be able to get that emotional. You need to know how you're going to feel with money on the line, and the only time you ever get that is when there's actual money on the line. And I mean, it could only be $5, or it might not be much, $5, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the only time you're going to know what emotions are in play, and then how to deal with them. Okay. So all theory is good, but it flies out the window once you start to actually have money on the line. And you've heard Luciano's story and other people's story about things that have happened to them, and you'll never know that until you actually have that money on the line. So you need to be very aware of that. Okay? So I expect you to be trading live the next time we speak. You got that?
Yeah.
Right, so I would suggest, if you possibly can be here tomorrow night for the Trade with the Trader with John and John, the two J's. J and J.
Yep.
Like bananas and pajamas, J and J. Right. Okay, so that's your action steps for the next period of time. Okay. Make sure that I'll be watching out for your posts on Facebook for those, so that I can help you out.
All right. Thank you.
Good man. Good talking to you again.
See ya.
Cool. Okay. Anyone else got anything? Is there anyone else that wants to, one last, I can take one more before we wrap it up, and I'm going to share this question with you. You might have heard me use one of them already during this session. Okay, there's two questions that I learned when I was sitting down with guys that are paying, $10,000 a month. There's two questions they ask themselves every day and every week. Those two questions were these things. What is the one thing you will, underlined, you will do this week? Okay? So this is a high priority activity. It's the one thing, if there was only one thing you could do this week, that will get done. All right, this is not a if, this is not a but, this is a will get done. All right, and this is the one common thread that went through everyone there. They had one thing that was an absolute must complete during this 7-day period. And it got done. See, that was the biggest thing. They asked themselves the question, they set themselves the goal of what it was that would get done, and then they did it. All right, so I would suggest that that gets written down and gets put into action immediately. What's the one thing that will get done this week? Ask yourself that beginning of every week. Select your one thing and then do it. Okay? Here's the second question that they all ask themselves. And this is a question that I have been asking myself in a roundabout way, but I really like the clarity of this question and the way that they used it. And it is, what am I doing today to contribute to my cash flow? What is it I am doing today to contribute to my cash flow? It's an amazing question to ask yourself every day at the beginning of the day, and that should be that priority that you set yourself, because that's how you get from being a 29-year-old to being 33 and financially free, by asking yourself that question every day. What am I doing today to contribute to my cash flow? Right? That's not to my hourly wage. That's to my cash flow. Right? So for Daryl Osden, it's what am I doing today to contribute to my cash flow so that I will be financially free in 12 months? There is no reason. Right, who here has set themselves a financial freedom number? So this is basically, I've done the perfect business model. You've got more cash flow coming in than you have going out. Right? There's no reason why anyone here can't get to that level by December. No reason. All right? No reason at all. It's multiple streams of income. It comes from asking yourself those two questions. What's the one thing I'm going to do this week that will get done? And what am I doing today to contribute to my cash flow? When I ask myself about any investment opportunity or any opportunity, it's, will this put cash flow into my pocket from day one? Whenever I look at anything, that's the framework that I look at it from. Will this put cash flow into my pocket from day one? Okay, so those are things that people that have the ability to pay $10,000 a month investment, running 7-figure plus businesses, and got there in a very short period of time. These are the frameworks that they operate from on a daily and weekly basis. I would suggest that it's probably a good framework for you to start operating from as well. You know, I'm going to start using those questions myself because I use a different kind of question, but those are very clear, right? You know whether you will or won't accomplish something this week, but I would suggest that's an immediate thing you take from today, and same from today as well. What am I going to do today to contribute to my cash flow? My suggestion for you to lock those two things in is during your daily accountability within the coalition group, I would suggest you start yourself a thread in there in the coalition group, the coalition forum, along the lines of those two questions. What is it you're going to do this week that will get done, and what you are doing today to contribute to your cash flow? So each day you post in there, you post what you're doing today to contribute to your cash flow, and what is the thing that you're doing that will get done this week. Are my suggestions to lock in the accountability for that to become a habit for you as you move forward. Okay? So, we are done and dusted. Anyone got any last minute question that they want to ask before we wrap this thing up now? But you've got a lot of things to, well, you've got a few critical things to move forward on now. Tomorrow night, suggest, come along and join the PPA's Trade with the Trader session. We will be, I will be facilitating with John Tungseth, Mr. Cheetah himself, and also with Mr. 87%, the Viking, John Lillehagen. We'll be facilitating the Trade with the Trader session tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Okay. And then those of you that have submitted your interest in the Cheetah Trading Bootcamp, I will be going through the submissions over this coming week, and we'll be getting back to you on those submissions once I've gone through them all. So on behalf of the team, hopefully you got something out of what we just shared with you tonight, Sue and myself. Make sure that you immediately get off this, and well, if you haven't made your submission for the Cheetah Trading Bootcamp and you would like to, you need to email me, Dwayne@binaryoptionsexperts.com, and tell me why will you consider yourself to be a good candidate for that particular boot camp. Cool. So good talking to those of you. Those that didn't talk or share, make sure that next time you're on, because it's the opportunity for you to get some insight and some action steps for the following week or following couple of weeks. So on behalf of the team, look forward to talking to you again, and take some action. Night, everybody.